Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
What is going on, guys? Excuse me for that. I just burped there for a second, but this is the Club of the Man 1993. Back here for some more baseball news. And now we're going to talk about some recent injuries that have happened within the past month or so in Major League Baseball, leading to the end of the season. And most of these are season-ending injuries. A couple of these, though, were people who have been apparently playing through injuries. But most of these are season-ending. And one of them may explain why someone's productivity has been down since being with the Detroit Tigers since 2022. In the third year of a 6-year contract he signed, and it's not looked good for him at all. Despite the fact that the Tigers are somewhat in contention right now for the wild card, with the Red Sox and Mariners contending for a wild card spot, yet they do still have the Royals and the Guardians to worry about as well. But we'll get to him at the very end. But let's talk about a couple of injuries happening in Major League Baseball currently. Starting off with the current, reigning, defending, batting champion of the league, who I think last I saw is currently leading the National League in batting average, Luis Arraez, who has split this season with the Marlins and the Padres. Apparently, he has been playing through a torn thumb ligament this season. He apparently suffered the injury to his left thumb when sliding into third base back on June 25th, and he has had ongoing discomfort throughout the season. Sorry, bumping my phone there. It prevented him from playing in the All-Star game, and he has said he was given the okay, though, to keep playing after he received a full medical exam during the All-Star break. Arraez described things last month. He feels discomfort while swinging and fielding, but the injury is on time. Ultimately, all about pain tolerance. He wants to stay on the field, if at all physically possible. Of course, since that injury, he's still hitting about 280. Back up from the 310s line, he delivered in his first 360 play appearances as an overall 302. Well, this was a few weeks ago also when this was announced too. So I think last I saw he was hitting like around 311-ish, I think it is. So it has gotten back up there as well too. Of course, they did recently get back Francisco Tatis, who was out with an injury. Yu Darvish, though, is away for a personal matter. And Joe Musgrove is expected to come back soon as well. I think he did come back from his injuries. Well, again, this is from this ad is from August 10th, so it's about a month ago this happened. But I don't know if he'll get any attention to it in the offseason. But yeah, some people play through injuries, and Luis Arraez is one of them. He's not as tough of an out as he was, though, the past couple seasons. Again, he's still hitting about 311 or something like that. He's still up top in the National League and hitting, and one of the best contact hitters in the league. And the fact is also, I think he's been playing mostly DH since he joined the Padres back in May or June whenever he was traded to the Padres. So props to him for playing with the discomfort, but I think he'll probably get things taken care of in the offseason, though. That way he plays on a more comfier level for sure. Speaking of playing through injuries, apparently also Freddie Freeman has been playing through a hairline fracture in his finger. He's attempting to keep playing through the injury, and after he left the game against the Cardinals on the 18th of August due to what was at the time termed a jammed finger. Freeman was out of the lineup at the time and considered day-to-day, but scheduled to undergo a CT scan on Monday and there really has been no reports after that since. Of course, the Dodgers have dealt with some injuries too, mainly regarding losing Mookie Betts for a while. But I think he just recently came back as well. But this looks like something that Freeman's playing through. Because I believe Max Muncy, they've lost him for most of the year. He's been hurt this year too. And then another guy who's been hurt, who just got hurt for the Dodgers recently, back on August 31st, is Clayton Kershaw, who has not... Well, the funny thing is, when you look at Clayton Kershaw's numbers, he still has pitched very well over the past several years. It's just things have gone very unnoticeable for him because of the fact that he's been injured a lot. And he's been limited in his starts. I think he only has played maybe like seven starts this whole year, and I think he's like 2-2 or something like that. But still a good ERA. He still has that career 2.50 ERA, and his ERAs are still low. It's just that he's only making like 22 starts, or like 7 like this year for a 36-year-old. Let me see here. Clayton Kershaw, he had soreness in his left big toe back on the 31st of, back on the 30th, or whatever he last pitched at the end of August. Kershaw, who of course has been back and forth of continuing to play the past couple of years, been signed some one-year deals with the Dodgers. He's definitely been year to year, and he is only like, I think 32 strikeouts away from 3,000 for his career. I hope he at least continues to play until he gets to number 3,000, which, if he has one more healthy year, could be a very well next year, of course, as I would expect. Because he has 212 wins, he's not getting the 300. The only person right now who may have a shot right now at getting the 300 is Justin Verlander. But he is like, what, 40 wins away, and he's already 41? He'd have to have at least 4 more seasons with like 10 wins, and I don't think he has it in him, unfortunately. But Kershaw, again, I think he needs to get to the 3,000 strikeouts and just call it a career. Personally, he is constantly getting hurt. He's only playing limited number of starts in each season. So I think it's time for him just to, consider hanging it up, but also get to that 3,000 strikeout mark first. He's a Hall of Famer. He's got nothing else to prove. Bouncing over now to the Red Sox, we have James Paxton, who's acquired from the Dodgers in the trade deadline. He's done for the rest of the year, having a partially torn right calf, and was placed on the 60-day DL back on August 23rd, it looks like. It's unlikely that he will return, and he's officially ineligible to be reinstated, of course, until the second week of October. That is if the Red Sox make the postseason. As of now, they're in the wild card race, but they aren't one of the current wild card teams currently. So he's going to be out for the rest of the year. So that's a loss there. Someone else who just can't get a break from injuries is Byron Buxton, who back on August the 15th went on the DL with a hip injury. And again, Byron Buxton, who was definitely at one point one of the top prospects for the Minnesota Twins, just cannot catch a break. It was just a couple of years ago, I think he finally reached like the 30 homer mark or something, and he was still even limited injuries that year. He's like today's Troy Tulowitzki. Troy Tulowitzki was, when he played, was also someone who just got injured left and right and left and right. And someone who easily could have been a Hall of Famer if healthy, didn't get to have that mark because all he did was get hurt. And Byron Buxton hasn't always been able to show us his true potential because all he has been done is hurt, unfortunately. So that's a shame there for that one. A blow for the National League Central leading Brewers currently. Former MVP Christian Yelich was announced back on August 15th. He was going to miss the remainder of the season as he underwent back surgery. And he was hopeful to be 100% to return for 2025. He went on the 10-day injured list the week before the trade deadline after playing through lower back discomfort. And then Yelich visited a spine specialist, tried a non-surgical rehab that allowed him to delay the procedure until the offseason. But, of course, that did not happen, of course, as he definitely had to have the surgery. Of course, Yelich has dropped off of his MVP caliber season for the past several years. Since 2019, he's been solid, but not an elite hitter at one point like he was for his first couple years with the Brewers when he won the MVP, and he contended with Cody Bellinger as well for another MVP. And he appears, though, to still be on a decline in his age 32 season. Yelich did have a good start to his first half of the season, though. He hit .315. He homered 11 times and stole 21 bases. But then, of course, Yelich, though, of course, wasn't able to, stay healthy for this half of the season, and he's going to miss the rest of the year, unfortunately. But so hopefully he'll be ready for 2025. We also have Braves having Austin Riley, who hasn't had one of his best years either, announced back on August 19th that he was diagnosed with a fractured hand that is going to sideline him for 6 to 8 weeks. So probably closer to the playoffs. Braves, who I believe are one of the National League wildcard teams right now, as the Phillies are running away with the National League East currently. It's definitely one of several injuries that the Braves have lost this year. They, of course, have lost Spencer Strider due to a torn UCL and had internal brace surgery at the beginning of the year, so he's been out for a whole year. Ronald Acuna Jr. last year's MVP towards ACL. Ozzie Albies also injured his wrist. AJ Minter had hip surgery, and Michael Harris II had a grade 2 hamstring strain, although I believe he is back, and he just had like a catch of the year recently as well. Like I said, it hasn't been one of Riley's best seasons. Marcell Ozuna, their DH, has been picking up a lot of the slack as well. But yeah, this probably will be it for the regular season, at least for Austin Arraez. So hopefully he's healthier back next year and he can bounce back. And finally, the last one I want to talk about is Javier Baez back on August 20th announced he is going to have some season-ending hip surgery as well. He was transferred to the 60-day DL. He is done for the year. And apparently he has been dealing with this issue and been feeling this way for the past couple years. And also he has been having a lumbar spine inflammation as well, which could be the cause of the reason why he has not been so good with his time with the Tigers. Signed with the Tigers for a 6-year, $140 million deal, given going into 2022. But since then, he has hit just .221 and just has been having a dreadful time in Detroit. Hopefully, though, with this surgery, it could solve his problems, and maybe we'll see Baez get back on track when he returns in 2025. So that, guys, is just a few season-ending injuries and a couple other players who have been dealing with some injuries, and some that are playing through them, like Freddie Freeman and Luis Arraez. But those who, of course, are having season-ending injuries, we hope the best for your recovery, and hopefully you'll be back stronger and can bounce back for sure in 2025. And Clayton Kershaw, don't you leave yet, brother, until you can get to 3,000 strikeouts. So, one more year maybe for Clayton. He's 36, but the injuries are piling up on him, but we'll see. But again, he's a Hall of Famer. He's got nothing to prove. He's got nothing more to prove. But getting to 3,000 strikeouts is a must for Kershaw. But what are your guys' thoughts on these season-ending injuries? Do you think Clayton Kershaw as well will continue to play till he gets to his 3,000 strikeout? Again, he's only 32 away. He can definitely do that. Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, The Club of the Man 93. You may also follow me on TikTok and Instagram, The Club of the Man 1993. So a couple more baseball news pieces left, so hopefully we'll get them either tonight or tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!